Holy moly. Did I just wake up in an alternate universe? I cannot believe what I saw go down in last night's Dancing with the Stars finale. And before I get into it, because I got opinions, let me share the winners with you really quick. So here goes. In first place, we have The Bachelor star Joey Graziadei. And in case you missed last night's episode, I'm going to give you a little screenshot of the costumes he wore. Be right back. Okay, in second place, we have Olympian Alona Meyer. And so here is a little screen grab of her costumes she wore last night. I will be right back. Third place, we have Disney star Chandler Kinney. And here is a quick look at what she wore last night. In fourth place, we have Olympic gymnast Steven Nedorozic. Here is what he wore last night. And finally, rounding out this season's finalists in fifth place, we have footballer Danny Amendola. And so I'm going to show you a couple snapshots of his numbers last night. And truth be told, friends, I am gobsmacked that Joey won this thing. But he was a star in the reality TV show The Bachelor. The Bachelor is on ABC, the same channel that hosts Dancing with the Stars. My theory is that he had the most crossover in viewership, and ultimately what this program evaluates and chooses its winners on, or how many people call in. I was assuming Chandler would win the call-ins, first of all, because her dancing was so much stronger than everyone else. And number two, she has exponential more social media influence compared to all the other competitors this season. But it does indicate to me that those weren't the people watching, or at least calling in votes. And that's ultimately who matters on this show. So I gotta tell you, I was just stunned. But guys, here's further proof of that. We have seen other Bachelorette contestants do well on this show, in my opinion, better than they should have. Think back to season 1. I don't know if you remember this, but the two people in the finale that season were John O'Hurley from Seinfeld and Kelly Monaco, who was the most recent Bachelorette. And Kelly won that season. And there was a huge audience backlash because they were like, that's not the dancing we saw. What on earth is this show? It's called Dancing with the Stars. We all went in with the naive assumption that it would be based on the dancing that we would select winners. And actually, as a result, guys, I don't know if you remember this, ABC had to do a public announcement before the next season began that the winners were not in fact based on the judges' marks and the dancing. It was based on the number of people calling in. And you and I all know that this is based on ad dollars, and the more audience they get, the more pockets that get padded. So Unfortunately, even in the reality world of dance sport, money holds a lot of weight. Don't like it, but I'm just sharing my opinions. And these are just opinions. I'm just sharing my opinions. Which we know are right. Okay, next up. Chandler started out this series with by far the best dancing, the best training. She was the clear winner for me, at least in terms of the dancing from the get-go. But I was stunned this finale. It was honestly, again, in my opinion, the worst dancing I have seen from her this whole season. And it sucks because we, as ballroom dancers, have all been there. Yes, that includes me. You can go into that competition better prepared than everyone else. You have spent the most money on your costumes, on your lessons, on yada, 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 yada. You have invested the most time. You might be going in the clear winner, the expected winner, the best dancer. And you know what? You have an off night. Doesn't matter. You're in dance sport not judged on the whole and how you've been dancing the whole year. It's how did I dance not only at this comp, but in this one single round. And you know what? As a competitor myself, my heart just breaks, because I've been there, and I'll bet you I'm not the only one, who's been there, where not everyone has an on day on comp day. And unfortunately, sometimes we have a horrible day on comp day. And Chandler drew the short straw last night. So I hated seeing that, because she's a lovely, talented dancer. But you know what? I hate to see anyone lose because I am loving all of the competitors this season, okay? Okay, next up. Someone tell me, how did Steven Nederesic make it into this final? I love his joyful attitude. I love that he's giving 100%. My theory is that he is an Olympic gymnast, a medalist, and I have noticed in almost all his routines, he is incorporating gymnastics. As a matter of fact, in his freestyle last night, there was, I don't know, less than 10 seconds cumulatively in terms of dancing. The rest of it was just gymnastics. And hey, I'm the first to admit it is darn entertaining. And when you are competing in a show dance, which most of these numbers on this TV program are, you're not compared side by side with the other competitors. So showmanship comes exponentially more into play. The entertainment value. We have more freedom of storytelling and not actually dancing when we do a show dance. Just the rules are different. And this is a real dance sport too, friends, not just for this show. So I do not fault him one iota for doing that. If you have a strength as a competitor, ride that pony to the finish line. And, obviously gymnastics is his jam. And it was really cool, guys. If you missed it, look it up on YouTube, his grand finale number. They brought in his Olympic gymnastics teammates, and they were background, I'll say dancers, background gymnasts in his number. And man, it was fabulous to watch. Loved it. But anyway, doesn't omit the fact that I am real shocked he made it to this final, and unfortunately he placed fourth, and my hope is he's really satisfied with his accomplishment, because you know what, making a final is an accomplishment, and that goes out to you, my ballroom dance friends. I know it's disappointing when you don't win. We, as competitors with the competitor spirit, do not show up for second place. We're there to bring it home. But I just hope that he and everyone else in, the dance sport world recognizes that is an incredible accomplishment and says he's doing something that is appealing to many people, okay? Whether that be, an informed judging panel or an uninformed, nationwide audience. Either way, in my opinion, that is a massive, respectable, incredible life accomplishment. So I hope he goes home feeling super good about himself. Okay, next up, Ilona placed second. Now, if you would have told me in the first episode that she would even make the finale or the top half, I would have told you were crazy, because she came into this, obviously, an extraordinarily talented athlete. Musicality, she had strengths, but the flexibility was not there, definitely not the polish. So it looked to me like she just lacked a lot of the training as well as the natural flexibility that many of the other dancers this season had. But this goes to show you, when you're competing, especially more long-term, as we as dance sport, actual real ballroom dancers do, if someone has a dance background, it's not a give-all that you're going to win, okay? There is something to be said for talent, for fortitude, for your aptitude for learning. This is different for every single person. The pro-student combo matters a lot because there's not a perfect teacher for everyone. You know what? When you find a teacher that's working for you, go for it. Stick with them, because obviously this was a great match for her. And like I said in last week's video broadcast, whoa, I didn't know if she choked down a bunch of dancing pills that week or what, but her dancing went next level within 1 week, and she brought it on again this week. In my opinion, she is by far and away the most improved dancer of the season by far. And she continued to improve this week. And guys, side note, love that she went with a Muppet style dress again like she wore last week. I love that fringe costumes. I always have. I've actually never owned a fringe costume. Hey, throw me a bone. Send me a cool Christmas gift. Give me one of your old, extra small Muppet costumes you aren't wearing anymore, because I have always dreamed of wearing one, and she looked amazing in it. I just love those. It's very, very fun. Okay, now this raises the question for me. What exactly are the audience members voting on in this series? Is it who improves the most? Who dances the best the whole season? Who happened to dance the best in that one finale episode? Because in my mind, these are actually 3 different people this season. And so I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you think the voters are assessing? Because, we as dance sport competitors are probably evaluating, firstly, from an informed perspective. We're looking at angles, complete body lines, hitting timing, light and shade. What are non-dancers, kind of that naive audience, looking at? I'm real curious. I don't know. I'd love to know that. Okay, in my opinion, this was the best season of Dancing with the Stars by a long shot I have ever seen. And I've been watching since episode 1. Why is this? Okay, first of all, the music. It's real music. It's danceable tempo. It drives me batty when they assign a couple, for example, a samba, and then they play merengue music. And even as a pro dancer, I can't make that look good. Like they're, two time trying to run across the floor and do all these figures, and it's just a mess. So I love that, okay? I love how talented all of these performers were this season. In my opinion, as a longtime professional dancer, this was the most talented pack we have ever seen. And I am all over that. Very enjoyable to watch. Even me as a championship level dancer recognize some moments of greatness, of really good, actual, legit dancing. Okay, next up, speaking of dancing, maybe set aside season like 1, 2, 3. This is the most real ballroom dancing I have seen so far in all the seasons of this show. So first of all, minimal flash and trash. Often I literally see 4 seconds of dancing and the rest just tearing off costumes, doing poses, booty shaking. That's not real dancing. That gives me nothing to evaluate. And I love that they're doing that. And number 2, I love that they're doing real, identifiable figures. I watch, I know what I'm looking at. Very clean cut syllabus figures, not just a bunch of open stuff. Not that I don't appreciate open things, but honestly, I'm more impressed with a basic done well than than a one trick pony, doing a rocket across the floor. I'd much rather, see a great natural spin turn. As a dancer, that totally floats my boat. More pleasing to look at, okay? I love the enthusiasm and the hard work of all of these dancers, with the exception of Anna Delvey, who, thank heavens, was voted out in the first episode. I don't like her, but I talk about that in another video. And I love that we, as ballroom dancers, get to see that joy, that elation, that sense of accomplishment they have when they work hard, and then that hard work yields great results in terms of the marks, or you know what? Set aside that. Great dancing. I mean, for their skill level, guys, I think they all rocked it this season, and that just could not make me any happier. I sure hope that this is the future direction this show is going to go, because I am all for it. Okay, guys, so let me know what you think, what the heck the naive masses are voting on, and how you feel the marks should have gone for this final episode. So anyway, thanks for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you first thing tomorrow morning for some more fun ballroom dance chat. And I apologize for getting this video out so late this morning. Last night was a 3-hour episode. I watched it twice, and some of the things I had to rewind and watch 3 and 4 times to digest all the insanity we saw. Because I prefer not to come in here and just pull things out of my keister. I actually want to reflect and give you an honest opinion of what I, as a ballroom dancer, saw going on. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, friends. Toodles!